We're now joined by our longtime friend, Bernie Flynn, CEO of Mercer Street Friends. How are you, Bernie?
I'm well, Steve. Good to be with you.
Well, Bernie's been a longtime friend, one of the original board members of NJTV back in July of 2011, believes in public broadcasting, believes in what we are doing, and now is leading a not-for-profit, previously the leader over at New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Company. Long and winded way of getting to this. What is Mercer Street Friends, A, and B, why is it more important than ever during this COVID crisis?
Well, Steve, Mercer Street Friends is a social service organization founded by Quakers that's been around for more than 60 years. And we're all about food, family, and education. And when it comes to this pandemic, I took over the job in February. Pandemic hits in March. And as far as food goes, we're the food bank for Mercer County. So immediately, our lives changed in the food bank right away. We are an essential operation, through the pandemic. So we had people coming in and volunteering here. We had expanded programming to help the community. So Mercer Street Friends has always, over the decades, been an organization that steps up when it's needed most. And it was most visible, during the beginning of the pandemic and continuing until now. We're also in the schools. We're in 2 Trenton district schools, helping to support our students, and we've been doing that virtually over the past 6 months, and we're engaged right now with the reopening of the school calendar, even if we're not, in school directly. And we also support families and young moms. We have prenatal, postnatal programming. We help with counseling services for young families. So we're a full social service organization, and it's something that I wanted to do in my, post-NJM career.
And by the way, we're talking about the Trenton area more specifically, but beyond Trenton, right?
Well, we're all of Mercer County in terms of our social services. But you're correct. I mean, Steve, you started out with the public television commentary, and I will tell you, it's such a pleasure to be with you, because I remember the days when you and a handful of others were fighting to save public television in the state of New Jersey. And I was privileged to be part of that. And so that's an example of, my interest statewide in helping to support, public television, our community that's underserved. But for now, I'm focused in the city of Trenton.
Yeah, by the way, full disclosure, I want to be clear that I appreciate Bernie's kind words, but if it were not for Neil Shapiro, the president and CEO of WNET, the parent, if you will, of NJTV, and John Servideo and Bob Feinberg and so many others, there would not be an NJTV. Operating it and keeping it going is a whole nother story. Bernie, let me ask you this. Money. Since we're talking about public broadcasting, we're talking about money. NJM happens to be one of the underwriters of what we do, but they're also supportive of what you're doing, and also the Princeton Area Community Foundation, our good friend Jeff Vega, supportive as well. How much of your time is spent raising money in this global pandemic to do what Mercer Street Friends is doing?
Well, certainly it takes a lot of time, but the wonderful thing about this pandemic is that organizations like NJM, like the Princeton Area Community Foundation and Jeff Vega, they were meeting us halfway. I mean, the Princeton Area Community Foundation put out probably the first COVID relief fund.
Yeah, they did.
Provided a streamlined grant process. So those nonprofits that were serving the community in the beginning of the pandemic, they had the opportunity to apply for funding right away, and the nonprofit community got answers right away and funding coming to them that gave the nonprofit community confidence that they would be supported, as they expanded their programming to meet the needs in the community. And NJM's a similar story. In our food bank, we needed more room as soon as the pandemic got started. Well, guess what? NJM has warehouse space right next to our food bank. What did they do? They opened up their warehouse and allowed us to use their space so that we could adequately run the food bank, in the first few months of the pandemic. So the giving community, the philanthropic community, both, community foundations, the corporate community, individual donors, family foundations, they have been outstanding, through this process. So it enables me to focus on the work of the organization, while also, of course, making sure that we have proper funding to execute on all our programs.
30 seconds left in your post-NJM life as the leader of Mercer Street Friends, the work you're doing at this time for the people you're serving. 1 to 10, how rewarding?
It's a 10. And it's because the people at Mercer Street Friends are just like the people at NJM. Very caring, very giving. Corporate environment's different than nonprofit environment. I'm happy to be part of this team and proud to serve as their leader, during this very difficult time. But we've got many good years ahead of us here at Mercer Street, and we look forward to serving the community in Trenton and the greater Mercer County area for decades to come.
Bernie, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and keep doing what you're doing with the folks at Mercer Street Friends. Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you, Steve.
All the best. We'll be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the TURRELL Fund, supporting REIMAGINEChildcare, PNC, Grow Up Great, NJM Insurance Group, the New Jersey Education Association, the Northward Center, the Russell Berry Foundation, Caldwell University, and by St. Joseph's Health. Promotional support provided by NorthJersey.com and Local IQ, part of the USA Today network. And by New Jersey Monthly.
Being a kid is all about playing, laughing, and having fun. Doing what they do best, from rolling in leaves to building a snowman. But when illness or injury slows your little one down, you want the best pediatric care possible. Turn to the experts at the St. Joseph's Children's Hospital to get your superhero feeling super again. St. Joseph's Health, helping kids be kids.